Okay, well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the launch of the Scottish Borders Foster Care campaign today. We're coinciding, as people may know, with the Foster Care Fortnight, which is a national campaign which will highlight fostering and the need to recruit more foster carers. But we also want to emphasise the local picture and our local needs, and we really need foster carers to come forward locally and be part of our approach to providing support to young people. So during the course of 2011, a total of 55 children and young people from Scottish Borders were placed in foster care, which equates to at least one child each week. And we have a duty clearly to ensure that we have sufficient foster carers to meet the need. And for that to happen, we rely on people, local people, to come forward to be considered. The number of balloons that you see here and here represent the number of Borders children and young people who are in foster care for whom the council has responsibility. And the total number is 125. So if you saw the pictures before, the balloons before, that was what the 125 was referring to. And the local and national trend is that the number of children who need to be looked after away from home is rising. Children and young people in foster care need the same care as other children, but they may need extra understanding along with support to maintain their relationships with their own families. And I think the foster carers in the Borders do a really good job, and they're really able to help young people to do that. Not all looked after children can have their needs fully met through foster care, but for many, if not most, looked after children, a foster placement is the best option for promoting their welfare and development. I'd now like to introduce Greig, who's the Scotland and Edinburgh standoff. And I've got some information here, so I'm not a rugby person, so if it's wrong, you'll have to just tell me that it's inaccurate. So Greig, for those of you who are more au fait with rugby, will know that he's the nephew of Scotland's legendary scrum half, Roy Laidlaw, and Greig joined Edinburgh in the summer of 2006, having previously played for Jed Forest, the local team. After a stint with the Scotland Sevens and under-21 sides, he made his full Scotland debut against New Zealand at Murrayfield in November 2010. In January 2011, he was called up to Scotland's Six Nations squad, and although he didn't get any game time, he was retained in Andy Robinson's 40-man squad ahead of the World Cup. And he's now 7 full international caps for Scotland, having broken through the team during the Six Nations tournament in 2012. He then captained Scotland to wins over the Ireland Wolfhounds and Italy in early 2011, and skippered Edinburgh in the Magners League. His early representative rugby included games for Borders under 16 and under 18, as well as the Scotland under 18. So I'd really just like to thank Greig for coming along and for giving his time and support to the campaign. And I know that he's happy to say a few words just to introduce the launch of the Fostering Fortnight.
Thank you very much for the introduction there. Yeah, I'm proud to support the campaign by the Scottish Borders as part of the Foster Care Fortnight to encourage more people to consider fostering in the Scottish Borders. Growing up in the Borders myself, I'm very grateful for the opportunities and encouragement I received. Without the support of my family and friends, I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I've achieved on the rugby field, and that allowed me to play at the highest level, so for that I'm very grateful. There are many people in the Borders who give up their own time and energy to encourage young people to develop their full potential. This is true in the rugby community, but also in other sports, youth organisations and in clubs. Foster carers help young people in their own homes and by accepting them as part of their own families. So I think everybody does a great job, and I'm just here to try and encourage more people to come forward and help out. Thank you.
Foster carers come from all walks of life and may be single or in an enduring partnership. They need to be in reasonable health and in quite settled circumstances. But thorough checks are undertaken and a full assessment of their suitability is carried out, including a preparatory training course. We look for particular qualities in prospective young carers, foster carers, and they need to have a genuine interest in children and young people and an enjoyment of their company. They need certainly to be patient and have an ability to listen, understand and communicate with young people. Given the need to care for our young people in the borders and the additional support being provided for foster carers, this is a good time to come forward for people with the right experience and qualities. So really I'd just like to emphasise the importance of this event, the importance of foster carers, and really to add my own personal support to all of the foster carers here in the borders who do a really, really good job. And without you, I think a lot of young people would be in a much more difficult position. So thanks to everybody who's put themselves forward, and I know does a sterling job.